Ready.
All right, this is the pituitary gland. So this part that is darker and grainier looking, this is the anterior pituitary. And some of the hormones that are made there would be human growth hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, prolactin, ACTH, FSH, and LH. Lots of different hormones. This is the posterior pituitary. It's going to look lighter pink and smoother. It's more nervous tissue. This is known as the neurohypophysis. And so it doesn't make anything, but it releases oxytocin and antidiuretic hormone. And those are actually made up here in the hypothalamus. Okay, this gland is the thyroid. It's found right in the throat, right below your voice box. And it makes and releases T3 and T4, the thyroid hormones. And this gland is the only gland that makes and stores a 100-day supply of its product. This is the back of that gland. And on the back of that gland, you have 4 or 5 of these little dots. And these are called parathyroid glands. And these make parathyroid hormone. And what that's going to do is it raises blood calcium. Now this isn't dependent on any other gland, this just checks the blood itself and then makes adjustments. It's the opposite of another gland or another hormone that's made from the thyroid called calcitonin, and calcitonin lowers blood calcium. So these two would be opposites, so they're antagonistic. This is an islet of Langerhans. It's found in the pancreas, and it's light pink. It's usually right in the center of a really dark purple patch, and this makes insulin and glucagon and somatostatin. The cells that make glucagon are the alpha cells. The cells that make insulin are the beta cells, and then somatostatin are made by the delta cells. And then these darker purple cells around it, these are the acini, pancreatic acini, and these make digestive enzymes, but they actually go all the way around. This is the adrenal gland, and it's got 2 parts. It's got the adrenal cortex, which is this outer rind or bark, and that deals with salt, sugar, and sex. So the salt part, the hormone is called a mineralocorticoid, and the most common one is aldosterone. And the function of that is going to be to piss out potassium and suck back sodium. The second one, the part that deals with sugar, is going to put out a class of hormone called a glucocorticoid, and the most common one is cortisol. It's going to deal with lots of different things, but especially stress. There are 6 different functions though. And then the third one deals with sex, and that's DHEA is the most common, and it's an androgen. And then the center here, which is it looks different on a slide, the center is the adrenal medulla, and it puts out epinephrine and norepinephrine, and they mimic the sympathetic nervous system, so stress. And then these are the gonads. So this is the male version, this is the testicle, and it puts out the male sex hormone, testosterone. This is the female version, which is an ovary, and it puts out the female sex hormones, which are estrogen and progesterone. In your lab book, it also talks about these yellow spots, especially this yellow area here, and that's called the corpus luteum. Luteal means yellow. And so once the eggs here are released, then this yellow spot stays there and makes hormone. So this is going to make some estrogen, some progesterone, but especially HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, which tells you that you're pregnant. But I think your lab just talks about estrogen and progesterone. But we'll talk about those more later.